Hello students, let us continue the session on fractions. Hopefully you have done questions which was unsolved in the previous session. The last question was question number 7. In that two of the questions had said you how to write or express in a simplest form. You must have done the 3 questions. Now we shall move on to question number 8. Question 8, we have a word type problem. Question here is Ramesh had 20 pencils, Sheelu had 50 pencils, and Jamal had 80 pencils. After 4 months, Ramesh used up 10 pencils, Sheelu used up 25 pencils, and Jamal used up 40 pencils. What fraction did each use up? Check if each has used up an equal fraction of her or his pencils. So this is a question wherein we have to express in the fraction and we need to make it in a simple form to find out whether they have used up an equal fraction. So let's begin. Let me mention person wise. Here the total number of pencils Ramesh had is 20, and have given that the number of pencils used up by Ramesh is 10. So for this, fraction is 10 are used up out of 20. You can further simplify and write in the simplest form as 1 by 2. Same way, the total number of pencils Sheelu had is given as 50, and the number of pencils used up by Sheelu is 25. Now if we express this in terms of fraction, we get 25 by 50, which is again 1 upon 2. Same way, fraction with respect to Jamal is he has used a 40 out of 80, which is again 1 by 2. You need to observe each one of these on simplification, on simplest form. They are all equal to 1 by 2. So it means that we can mention yes, each has used up an equal fraction of pencils. Hope I have made it very clear. Let's take up question number 9. Question 9 is to match the equivalent fraction and write 2 more for each. Here if you observe towards the left side, the numbers 1 to 6, 1 to 5, they are having fractions which are not in a simplest form. In the right side, whatever the fractions are given, they are the simplest form. So first let us make all these fractions which are numbered 1 to 5 in the simplest form. Then we can match them. Say for first one, it is 250 upon 400. I have said you how to express in a simplest form. We need to divide, and at the end the numerator and denominator should have the highest common factor as 1. In other words, we can simplify this as 5 times of 50, and this as 8 times of 50. This 50 get cancels, this will be 5 by 8. For the second one, 180 upon 200, we can express this 180 as 9 times of 20, and this as 10 times of 20, so that 20 get cancelled, we get the standard form as 9 by 10. For the third, we have 660 upon 990. It's a multiple of 11, so you can think it's 2 times of 330. This is 3 times of 330. This 330, they get cancelled. We'll be having 2 by 3 as a standard form. For the fourth, it is 180 upon 360. This is 1 time of 180. This is 2 times of 180. This 180 get cancelled, so we'll be getting 1 by 2. For the fifth, we have 220 upon 550. This can be written as 2 times of 1110, 110. This can be written as 5 times of 110, so we get it as 2 by 5. Now if you observe, for the first one, the simplest form is 5 by 8, which is there in option D. So 1 is equivalent to D. For the second, 180 by 200 is 9 by 10, which is option E. For the third one, 660 upon 990 is 2 by 3, which is option A. For the fourth one, it is 180 upon 360, which is 1 by 2. It is there in option C. For the fifth one, 220 upon 550. On simplification, it is 2 by 5, which is option B. So we have matched this. So the first part of the answer is over. To answer the second part, write 2 more for each. So 250 by 400 is 5 by 8. When the number 250 by 400 is 5 by 8, we can multiply some number to both numerator and denominator. We'll be getting 10 by 16. Now it is also same as 5 by 8 multiplied to say 10 by 10. This will be 50 by 80. So I have written 2 more of this type. This is equivalent to 250 by 400, which is equivalent to 50 by 80. So 2 more I have written for the first one. Same way you can continue for the remaining 4. I am leaving this part for you to solve. What you need to do, I'll be telling one more. Say 9 by 10 is there. You need to multiply some number to both numerator and denominator. Suppose if I multiply 2, you'll be getting 18 by 20. It's equivalent to 180 by 200. If you multiply by 3, it is 27 by 30. This is equivalent again. So likewise, you can have many more such numbers. Now we have exercise 7.4. Write shaded portion as fraction. Arrange them in ascending and descending order using a symbol greater than or equal to or less than between the fractions. First, we shall identify the fraction. For the first one, you count the number of parts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts are there. So out of these 8 parts, 3 of them are shaded. So the fraction which represents this first figure is 3 by 8. So let me mention this here. 3 by 8 is a fraction. For the second, there are 6 parts which are shaded out of 8 parts. So 6 by 8. For the third figure, we have 4 parts shaded among 8 parts. It is 4 by 8. For the last one, we have only one part shaded out of 8 parts. It is 1 by 8. You just observe the denominators here. These denominators are same. These type of fractions are called as like fractions. Whenever like fractions are there, it becomes easy to identify which one is greater and which one is smaller. The smaller numerator will be smaller. So the ascending order will be 1 by 8, which is less than 3 by 8, which is less than 4 by 8, that is less than 6 by 8. This is our ascending order. Now if you look at the second figure, let me mention over here, there are totally 9 parts. So one part is been not shaded. It means 8 parts are shaded. The fraction which represents this first figure is 8 by 9. Let me mention this over here, 8 by 9. In this, 1, 2, 3, 4 are shaded, 4 by 9. In this, 3 are shaded, it is 3 by 9. In this, 6 are shaded, 6 by 9. For this particular thing, the ascending order will be like 3 by 9 is the first one, and the next one is 4 by 9, next one is 6 by 9, next one is 8 by 9. These are the ascending orders. Suppose if you want to make it as a descending order, how do we do that? We have to write in a exactly reverse way. Starting from the largest, it's 6 by 8, which is greater than. Here you should be careful while writing. We need to mention this is greater than 4 by 8, this is greater than 3 by 8, this is greater than 1 by 8. This is for the first one, A. For the second one, B, the descending order would be 8 by 9 larger than 6 by 9, larger than 4 by 9, larger than 3 by 9. This is how we go for writing in a descending order. Now we shall solve part C. In part C, we need to show that 2 by 6, 4 by 6, 8 by 6, 6 by 6 on the number line. Put appropriate sign between the fractions given. We need to mention these fractions on the number line. Just in a rough, I'll be telling it. Suppose if I start somewhere here as 0, I have to make 6 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here we have 1, 2, and it continues. This first part is 1 by 8, the second part is 2 by 8. This is the number 2 by 8. Next we have 4 by 8, and this particular number is 1, which is same as 6 by 6. Next, after that, second part is 8 by 6. So this is how we represent the fractions given here on the number line. Suppose if I name this as A, this as B, C and D. A represents 2 by 8, B represents 4 by 8, C represents 6 by 6 and D represents 8 by 6. Now we have to put appropriate symbol here. 5 by 6 and 2 by 6, if you look at the denominators, they are the same. So this number 5 is greater than 2. 3 by 6 and 0. 0 is same as 0 by 6. So 3 is greater. 1 by 6 and 6 by 6. 1 by 6 will be smaller. 6 by 8 and 5 by 8. Sorry, 8 by 6 and 5 by 6. 8 will be larger. So we have used appropriate sign here in the boxes. Hope you have understood this question. Let's move on to the next question. Question 2. Compare the fractions and put an appropriate sign. If you observe the first question and the sixth question, first one and the third one, first and the third one, they are like fractions, so it becomes very easy for checking which one is larger and which one is not. 5 is larger, so we have to use this less than sign. Here again 5 is larger, we have to use less than sign. So I have answered A and C. Now to answer B, the best thing to do is we can make them as an equivalent fraction having the same denominator. So if I multiply this with 4, I'll be getting 4 by 28. If I multiply this with 7 by 7, I'll be getting 7 by 28. Now you compare these two. In 4 by 28 and 7 by 28, which one is larger? 7 by 28 is larger. This is originally 1 by 4 and this 4 by 28 is originally 1 by 7. So 1 by 7 is smaller compared to 1 by 4. So this is B. For D, if you observe, the numerators are the same. Whenever numerators are same, greater denominator will be smaller and lesser denominator will be larger. So this number 3 by 5 will be larger. This is another way. Let me mention over here, when numerators are same, lesser denominator will have larger value. So directly using this statement we can mention, or else you can follow the previous method. This 3 by 5 and 3 by 7 you express as the same denominator. For doing so, I'll multiply 7 by 7 for the first fraction and 5 by 5 to the second fraction, so that this becomes 21 by 35, this becomes 15 by 35. You observe carefully, this 21 by 35 is larger compared to 15 by 35. Which is the number originally? This is 3 by 5, which is larger. then 3 by 7. So this is how we can identify the larger number. Question 3 is on the lines of question 2. Make 5 more such pairs and put appropriate sign. I'll be leaving this question for you. You can think over and you can make 5 such pairs. Use the proper symbol. That's all for today's session. We shall take up few more questions in the next session. Thank you.